Hello everybody, and welcome back to the channel for this week's Toolbox safety topic video. Before we get started, make sure that you give me a thumbs up down below here to encourage me to make more videos of this type. Also subscribe to my YouTube channel where you'll find additional videos of this nature, other safety related videos, and leadership training videos. And if you find this information useful or helpful, make sure you share it with your colleagues and co-workers. Well, let's go ahead and get started with this week's Toolbox safety topic video. This week's Toolbox safety topic video is entitled The Do's and Don'ts of Scaffolding Safety in Construction. We all know that fall hazards are the leading cause of construction workers' deaths, accounting for about 40% of all fatalities in construction each year. Of the 359 construction worker fatalities attributed to falls in 2014, about 16% were from scaffolds. OSHA estimates that about 65% of all construction workers perform some work on scaffolds every year. Here are some of the do's. Do get properly trained before using a scaffold. Training must be done by a qualified person and includes identification of electrocution, falling object hazards, and the procedures for dealing with those hazards. Training must also include the proper use of the scaffolding, how to handle materials, and the load capacities of the scaffold. Do get trained when additional hazards present themselves due to changes at the job site, or if the type of scaffolding, fall protection, or falling object protection changes. You can also be required to receive additional training if your boss feels your initial training was not adequate. Before getting on a scaffold, check to make sure that a competent person has inspected the scaffolding before the work shift and that it is safe to use and in proper working order. Always wear your hard hat when working on, under, or around a scaffold. You should also get a good, sturdy, non-skid pair of work boots and consider using tool lanyards when working on a scaffold. Do be mindful of co-workers working above and below you at all times, as well as others working on the scaffold. If you witness improper use on or around a scaffold, you should stop what you're doing and notify a supervisor. When personal fall arrest systems are required for the scaffold you will be working on, thoroughly inspect the equipment for wear and damage. Anchor the system to a safe point that won't allow you to free fall more than 6 feet before stopping. Here's some of the don'ts. Don't leave anything on the scaffold at the end of your shift. This includes any building materials or tools that you may have been using on the scaffold while you were working. These items could potentially be blown off the scaffold or cause tripping hazards for the next person using the scaffold. Don't overload the scaffold. Proper training includes being informed of the maximum intended load of the scaffold you are working on, as well as its load carrying capacities. In most instances, scaffolds should be capable of supporting at least 4 times its maximum intended load. Don't use boxes or ladders to increase your work height. If you can't reach an area, you should request that your supervisor has the scaffolded platform raised. Don't use stilts unless the guardrails on the scaffolding have been extended to a height that is equal to the height of the stilts. Don't use the scaffolding if it appears it has been damaged in any way, has been tampered with, or if there are components missing, such as planking, guardrails, toe boards, debris nets, or protective canopies. Notify a supervisor immediately to get the scaffold in proper working order and inspected by a competent person. Never tamper with or attempt to repair a scaffold unless you have received training in scaffold erection. And don't walk on scaffold planking covered in ice, snow, or mud. Worn wood planking can also be extremely slippery when wet. All snow, ice, mud, and other debris such as wet leaves should be thoroughly removed before using the scaffold. You should also avoid using the scaffold during adverse weather such as heavy rain, sleet, ice, or strong winds. Don't climb on any portion of the scaffold frame not intended for climbing. Always use a fixed ladder, internal access stairway, or built-in ladder to access the working platform. There should always be a handhold above the scaffold platform. Never climb with any materials or tools in your hands. They should be hoisted up to the scaffold separately. All right, boys and girls, that's it for this one. Scaffolding can be very tricky. Make sure that you pay attention, and this is by all means not a full coverage of all the hazards associated with scaffolding. Anyway, thanks for stopping by, and thanks for watching. Make sure you give me a thumbs up down below here to encourage me to make more videos of this type. Also, subscribe to my YouTube channel, where you will find additional videos of this nature, other safety related videos, and leadership training videos. And if you found this information useful or helpful, make sure you share it with your colleagues and co-workers. And until we see each other again, take care of yourself, because you're number one. Look out for your co-workers and help ensure their safety. Have a grateful day, and remember, I will see you in the field. All right, I scuttled through that, flubbed it up a time or two. But listen, guys, scaffolding is one of the most dangerous things that we could. I give you the statistics. Scaffolding can be tricky, can be dangerous, but most of all, it's useful for work we do. And it's like any other tool of the trade. Make sure you do a thorough inspection and make sure it's safe to use before you get up on it. Once you're up there and you discover it's unstable, it may be just a little too late. Anyway, remember that you can use these videos for training on your job site as a Toolbox safety topic video. Just make sure that you reference the video, date it, and sign it. Have your people sign the sign-in sheet, date it, reference this video, and that can be a document that could be shown to OSHA to demonstrate that you do continuous training on hazard recognition and construction site hazards. If there's a specific video you'd like for me to make, leave something in the comments down below, and we'll get started on that. And if you have a specific question that you'd like to ask, feel free to leave something in the comments below, and I'll get with you as quickly as possible on that, and we'll triangulate a solution for whatever question you may have. If you watch to the very end, I'll put in some of those Easter eggs I've been leaving, and you can leave a comment whether what you think about them, whether you like them or not. Anyway, thanks for watching. Have a grateful day, and I'll see you in the field. Okay, stop recording.